This journal is already in my Etsy shop, and the link to my Etsy shop is in the description box below. It's called Love Bound Journals. This is the first journal I've made in months. So it was weird because I almost kind of lost like where do I go from here? Like but I think I did okay. It's a soft cover journal, one signature. It's covered in fabric. I have a vintage doily that I wrapped around it. On the spine I put the flowers and um, an image here from Emily Vernon, I think is her name. And then I used some vintage like a doily that I had cut apart, little flowers, and then same here. This is part of a placemat, and I just cut it apart and I added it there. So the closure has four metal corners. The closure is the satin ribbon, and let's get right in. Let's see. So the inside, you have a little tag that I made. I stitched it with coffee dye paper, note from the bookmaker, and then this is an old vintage index card. So have that in there. I can't remember what collection I used. I'm sorry guys, it's been in my files. So this is the first. I stitched on the lace, and here I have a tag. Use the Tim Holtz little girl there, and here you have two tags. These I did not back on coffee dye paper. I just double printed, so it wasn't white. And then here I have two little cards. This little time little card, and this is wallpaper. So that goes in there. Coffee dye paper. Here is another little tag, and I just added some vintage trim down there. This is wallpaper. And then here I distressed the edges of this little tag with the little Tim Holtz tool. And then you have another couple of tags. Vintage book page, poetry. Here I have vintage music, and then this little booklet that just opens up that way, and you can journal in the back, and it's magnetic, so it'll keep closed. Backed onto some vintage doily, and these I distressed also and double printed in the back so it's not white, and that goes back there. And here in these little envelope, and there's two throughout the journal, I just added bits and pieces of the kit so you guys can further decorate. So it's got yesterday, it's got January, today, autumn. So both envelopes have, so you guys can further decorate along with the little goodie bag and with the journals. And I just added a little flower there with a little piece of trim there. This could be a tuck. Here is a vintage playing card, and inside I have made these to try to make them look like a little camera. Like these are the lights, and then that's the camera hole and the flash, and you can journal in the back. So more coffee dye paper. Here is another tag. Backed onto coffee dye paper. Here's another one. And here is another one with the vintage trim. And then another little tag here. And a little collaging there, some lace, and you can journal here. I use a piece of a little vintage crochet doily that I had, and I put these little vintage vocabulary cards stuck in there. Another one here that you can put the events or the date. Vintage book page, stationery. Here I have a little tag, little altered paper clip, and then it holds this guest check with this vintage trim. So that holds the playing card. And then that all goes here, stuck on here. You can move that around. Here is another little, oh, that's stuck. Hold on, guys. There we go. Little journal stick and another little card, little flower there. I used one of the vocabulary cards and added some trim there. And you just got these little cuties that you can journal in the back. Put a date, a verse, whatever you want. Little glassine envelope with another card. Little fabric pocket here and another journaling card. This is magnetic, so it'll keep closed. So you have journal space there. And here you have one of these that I distressed around the edges, and then this flips out. You could journal there. And then in here, I have a vintage greeting card. And what I did was I just added some coffee dye paper in there. So there's two of these in the book, and both have the same thing. This says treasure, and then you have a couple more little cards that get tucked in behind there. And then inside the pocket page, you have a little beautiful little vintage greeting card. And that goes in here. This envelope is made of wallpaper, and I made another one of those camera, but this one is a little larger. You can journal in the back. This is magnetic here. Little sticker there. So here's another pocket page, and I just added this postcard. It's not vintage, it's just made to look vintage. And then here you have another magnetic little flip out with another one of these guys, and this opens up. And then in here you have another little booklet with coffee dye paper, and it keeps it all shut with a magnet. And then you have in here 3 more of these little guys. Here this opens up like that and like that. Oh, and the other one did too. I don't know if I showed you that. This other one here opens up too, like this. And so there's this one, and this is wallpaper, and then you got 2 tags. And then a couple more of these little guys. And then back here you have another tag. Little glassine bag, and vintage playing card, and a vintage tally card. Super cute. I love it. It's like raised. Here you have another couple of little cards, and this is another vintage tally. Trim. Here's the fabric flip. Just did a couple layers there. Another card. Here's another piece of that crochet trim, and a few more of those, and then this little thing here. Here is another journaling card stitched onto coffee dye paper, and I just tuck it there. Little sticker, another little fabric pocket, and another little tag. Added some trim there and there, and a little Tim Holtz girl. Another little paper clip with a guest check. And this needs something. I always forget to, no matter how many times I look at it, I always forget to put a little something somewhere. This is a pocket. Okay, so that's a little pocket. And that's how I altered the guest check. And it's backed onto coffee dyed paper too, with the little paper clip so you can move it around however you wish. And this is another little tag. And then in here I have another couple of these playing cards, permaculture. So I just stuck that in there. Here's another little tag backed onto coffee dye paper. And then here is where I have more pieces that you guys can switch around and glue down and whatever have you. Here's another little tag that I distressed all the edges. Another little gorgeous tag. And then here you have another tag with a little Tim Holtz girl. And another one here. And then some collaging there, and you can journal in there. And you can also stick something back here, which I failed to do. But you'll get a goodie bag anyway. And that is the back. And in the back you have another tag. Another one of these. I think this is Seneca Pound Craft and a vintage index card. So that is the journal. I hope you guys like it. Yeah, this was like a little warm-up to get me started onto journal making. And yeah. All right, guys. If you're interested in this journal, it's listed in my shop, Lovebound Journals. The link to the shop is in the description box below. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys in the next